Imagine a manuscript written nearly 700 years ago. A fragile book from the year 1357, not just a dusty relic, but a key to a forgotten world. The text is known as the Travels of Sir John Mandeville. At first glance, it appears to be just another medieval travel diary. But hidden inside are descriptions so strange, so detailed, and so accurate that they challenge everything we think we know about history. Sir John presents himself as a Christian knight, a traveler who journeyed across lands that no longer appear on any modern map. He writes about civilizations, kingdoms, customs, and creatures that today's historians simply ignore. Is it fiction? Maybe. But the accuracy of distances, trade routes, cultures, and geography makes it feel like he saw these places with his own eyes. And that's where the mystery begins. A different map of the world. The world Mandeville describes does not resemble the history we were taught. He mentions empires with no trace in modern textbooks, territories missing from every atlas, and cultures that seem to have vanished without reason. Either he created an impossible fantasy, or someone, somewhere, intentionally erased entire chapters of human civilization. A magical spring and forgotten creatures. One of his most unusual accounts tells of a mountain spring that changed its smell and taste every moment, and could cure all diseases if you drank from it 3 times. He wrote about this as a real place, not legend. Then come the creatures. He describes the griffin, a terrifying beast that looked like a lion mixed with an eagle. These creatures, he says, were strong enough to lift a horse, or even 2 oxen, straight into the air. People used their massive claws as drinking cups. Were these myths? Or did the medieval world contain creatures we no longer know existed? Strange people and islands of giants. Mandeville writes of tribes with horns, people who communicated only by animal-like sounds. And an island inhabited by giants standing 30 to 50 feet tall. These giants, he claims, would wade into the sea and drag entire boats to shore. He admits he never saw the largest giants himself. And somehow, this honesty makes his stories even more intriguing. The prison of Gog and Magog. One of the most shocking claims is that 10 entire nations, known from the Bible as Gog and Magog, were trapped inside the Caspian Mountains. And the one who sealed them in? Alexander the Great. According to Mandeville, Alexander closed the mountain pass with divine help, leaving only one guarded path protected by an Amazon queen. Why would historians ignore this? Then comes the greatest secret, Cathay and Tartary. We're taught that Cathay is just an old name for China. But Mandeville disagrees. He writes that China, or Qin, is an entirely separate land east of Cathay. So, what was Cathay? He reveals that Cathay equals the central heart of the vast empire of Tartary. A massive kingdom ruled by the Great Khan. A ruler with golden pillars in his palace. Armies stretching beyond the horizon. And leather currency used across his lands. Mandeville even claims he served in a Khan's army for 15 months. And suddenly a question appears. Why does modern history erase the great Tartary Empire? How does a global superpower vanish? Why is there no chapter about it in textbooks? Why did maps stop showing its borders? A possible answer. Europe never wanted the world to know how powerful the East once was. War, rewriting of records, and political motives may have buried the truth. And over time, Cathay was pushed onto China, so that no one would search for the real location of the Tartarian capital. A great catastrophe. If such a massive empire existed, what destroyed it? Hidden in Mandeville's writings are hints. A sudden catastrophe, maybe war, maybe a natural disaster. A flood, a fire, a collapse. Something powerful enough to erase a civilization from memory. So what is this book, really? It is not just a travel log. It's a warning. A glimpse into a version of history we were never allowed to know. A map to a forgotten world. A silent reminder that if an empire as large as Tartary can be erased, then how many other truths still remain hidden?